Hey everyone, welcome back. You know I love going to Dollar Tree, and recently I went and I was super inspired with things that I found there for my craft room. So I thought I would pick up a few things. I found 15 things and not all of them are necessarily for a craft space, such as this first one. So I'm gonna go through all of them. Hopefully you're inspired. I have a lot of Dollar Tree videos on my channel, so be sure if you like to shop at Dollar Tree as well, take a look at those extra videos and get some more inspiration. Okay, first thing that I found, and I'm going to do my best to link everything that I am finding down below. So I'll do my best and I'll also link the supplies that I'm using. But in the makeup section or health and beauty section, there was this makeup brush holder, and it also has suction cups on the side. So this is really neat. You can attach this maybe to a craft cart, or you could even attach it to your craft surface area as well. And that is on there. That's not moving. So I have a glass mat. I just attached it there. So you could have it there just to organize things. Even better is if, oh gosh, so that really works. Let me take that off. Okay, or you could maybe put it along the side to have it super organized. Okay, so let's open this up and see how this works. Now, the paintbrushes that I have, they are not from Dollar Tree. These were some that I had found at Michael's a while ago. So I am going to just show you. So again, this is traditionally used for a makeup brush, but when I saw this, I thought this would be great for some paintbrushes. So I am just kind of tailoring this to my craft space. So as you can see, I guess I didn't mention that. Ooh, it's already suctioned down again. So a testament to how wonderful this works. But as you can see, it has different size little holes for the brushes. So we have two bigger ones on the end, and then we have some smaller ones towards the center. So I'm just going to place those brushes accordingly. And let's see if I can get these all placed in here. So there we go. And there and there. So again, you could put this on the side of your craft cart. You could suction it to a surface, but I think this is really, really neat. And again, I think it's a wonderful way that you can get organized. So when you're at Dollar Tree, just be sure that you are looking with some open eyes and an open frame of mind, because you can find some really cool things that will work for your craft space if you just keep an eye out. Okay, there's that first idea. Let's go ahead and move on to some additional things that I found. Oh, and this is how it would look kind of hanging. So before I move on, I just wanted to give you that visual as well. Another thing that I found at Dollar Tree that I had not seen before was an electric pencil sharpener. And I found it in pink. I can't remember if they had other colors, but my eye immediately went to the pink. This is by their Jot brand, which is super popular in their both school supply and office supply section. And this is the little front area. So I just need to get that all out. And there's our little electric portion. I also need to just make sure I know where the battery compartment is. Let me get this placed back in. Okay. And I think the batteries go here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's going to need 3 AAAs, but I wanted to know where this was, because the next thing that I want to do is just make it really fun and cute. Not that it's not already adorable, but let's have some fun with this. So I purchased some little flower SVGs that I've used on previous crafts that I really like. I think they're so cute. And you'll see this same idea come in a future craft in this video with some pretty little flowers. It's just kind of the rage right now, and I'm here for it. I really love this idea and kind of pattern. Okay, so I went ahead. I think I made these just about a 1/2 inch, but they were a tad bigger. So on the bigger side of a 1/2 inch. And they also have these nice little centers as well. Okay, so there is first and foremost that part. So now I'll just go through and weed out all of the little middles of the flowers. And you know what? This is where I'm going to pause, because I'm going to bring in another thing that I found. Now, this is not an original idea, because I think many people have adopted this idea of grabbing a nail polish holder. Again, something that is not found in necessarily the craft section. So again, keeping an open mind and looking at things through a crafty perspective. But many people have found these nail polish holders that's traditionally used, let me show you the visual, to just put your nail polish bottle in so that as you are polishing your nails, you have your bottle secure in here. You can just keep dipping in. But for the crafty world, many people have used this to hold in the same fashion, but to use it to get the little weeding pieces off. And let's just test that out here. Ooh, that one flung right in there. I don't think I could have done that twice if I tried, but you can just use it to collect the little bits. I actually just purchased an actual little weeding cup from We Are Memory Keepers, so I am intrigued to go ahead and try that one as well. But here's one that you can get for $1.25 now that they've raised their prices just a tad, and it does a really effective job. So I just kind of cling my little hook to any of these little kind of 90-degree angles, not quite 90 degrees, but that's where you're going to be able to kind of snag them off. It's almost harder just to weed them today. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, there's that. So that's a really nifty tool. So we're kind of doing a 2-for-1 for this little craft because this was something else that I wanted to give a try. Okay, here we go. And finally, this last little one. All right, so that can be super helpful. That way you're also, and I know many of you have expressed the same thing that I have, is that sometimes you get all of those little pieces and you put them on your fingers after you're weeding them out, and then you just have a mess on your hands. Or you get them all over your clothes. For me, it's socks. For some reason, I can carry vinyl around my whole house on my socks. Okay, so you can use transfer tape, of course, but I am simply going to just peel these as I would a sticker, and I'm just going to decorate this cute little pencil sharpener and make it all fun. Also, again, being really mindful of this back area because that's going to need to be able to be removed freely in order to add the batteries. Okay, so I'm going to just go and again, just be mindful of that little line there. I can add them to the little battery compartment, but just make sure that it doesn't get that line. Okay, I think I cut out 15, so let's see. We're a third of the way. Was it 15? Maybe not. But we've already used quite a bit. Okay, super cute. I also want to maybe wrap some on the top, but if not, that's okay. I'll just finish this off on this side, kind of keeping an eye on where I put that last one. There we go. And also being mindful not to put it over this because we want to be able to take this in and out as well. Oops, come on, back in there. To empty out the little shavings. So do something like that. I just love this flower look. I did it recently on a kind of a Stanley dupe that was at Hobby Lobby. And that is seriously the cutest cup now. It's so fun. Okay, I want to see if I can also maybe do something up here. Let's see if I can kind of wrap one of these. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Okay, so I have kind of one wrapped there. And then I definitely had enough, which is always nice. So I can use these as stickers or let my kids use them as stickers. I'll just do one right there. Okay, so there is that cute little sharpener. Isn't that fun? Again, you could just leave it blank, or you could do something fun like a little flower, polka dots. Anything that just dresses it up is always a really fun idea. All right, so there's another thing that you can find at Dollar Tree. Again, this is more in the office supply, school supply, not craft section, more in the supply section. So I think it was more in office supplies. All right, there's our next idea. Let's move on to what else I found. I will say that the Dollar Tree has really stepped it up with organizational containers, and you're going to see a lot of them in this video coming up. I was really impressed with what I found. So I have a really fun variety that I want to show you. This was actually in the crafting section. It is a divided case. So what I do like about this is that there is some additional organization on the inside. And there are some containers coming up that don't have the organization on the inside, which is nice as well. But it is nice to have this very, very easy to personalize little box, because as you know, as a crafter, no matter what type of crafting you do, there are a lot of little pieces with some crafts. So I thought this was a really great idea, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make something for card making supplies. Now, I have a bigger organization system for my card making supplies, but I wanted to give you an idea for how you could organize yours if you wanted a little bit more of a smaller scale organization. Okay, let me remove this. And then what I was going to do was just add a little decal to the top. That way I really like to label my bins. It's just something that I do. I once had someone ask, why do you label something clear when you obviously can know what's inside of it? And I just do, because it's cute and adorable. And that's just the answer. Okay, so I'm gonna take some rubbing alcohol, and I am simply going to just clean the surface here. Okay, and what I'm doing here is just removing any of the gunk that could be on the surface. If you have a really, really nice clean surface, then your vinyl is going to lay down much nicer and it'll last longer. Okay, so I am going to, I see a little one that is out of alignment here, that little dot to the eye, so I need to keep an eye on that. Actually, let me go through and get all of my little middle pieces. Okay, and sometimes it's a little bit easier to do it in the reverse way. Now I will link the font information below. I think for this entire video, when doing written out things, I think I use the same font on everything, just because I really like consistency in my craft space. So whenever I'm doing anything that has to do with labeling, I like to use the same font, just so that everything looks the same. Everything is just consistent. Okay, I think I have just about all of them. Okay. For the most part, right? Okay, so and I just attach them to the little surrounding areas, because then when I go to weed it, it just takes all of those little extras away with it. Okay, I have a little dot to my eye that I need to be mindful of right here. And one more dot to the eye there. And we should be smooth sailing. Go. And I just typed out card making supplies just to label this little bin. Okay, there we go. All right, one little area that I still need to get there. Okay, so just trim that off. Now I'm just gonna grab some transfer tape so that I can lay this down right on the top. And then I'm gonna show you how to organize it, because I have some ideas on how you could organize this. Okay, so I'm gonna get just a little tape. I'm gonna cut it a little bit bigger than I need, because I wanna be able to reuse it for some upcoming crafts I'm doing and labeling. So a little bit bigger, knowing the crafts that I am going to be doing next. Okay, there's that. I'm gonna grab a little, let's put this little guy away, a little squeegee or scraper, and I'll burnish down that top side, and then turn this all the way over and do the same on the back. This just helps to really release the vinyl from that cutting sheet. There we go. Okay, so let's put this here. Easy peasy. We'll do something like that. Okay, lay it on down, add some additional pressure with burnishing, and then I'm just gonna go slow here. That way, if anything wants to come up, I can place it right back down. Whoops, come here. Sometimes plastics can be just a tad tricky, but once you get them on there, maybe I need to burnish that M a little bit more. Once you get them on there, then you're good to go. Just let it set, walk away for a bit, and it'll cure right on there. Okay, so card making supplies. I love this font. Okay, I'm gonna put my transfer tape off to the side so that I can reuse that in just a bit. I'm also going to be using that rubbing alcohol more as well. Okay, so I was thinking, and like I said, these are movable on the inside, so you can go ahead and do anything that you want with those. But if you have little blenders, and I'm just grabbing from my little craft carousel that I have here. If you have little blender brushes, you can place those in this larger storage area. Other things that you could put in here, this would actually be a really nice container for washi tape. Oh my goodness, that would be so cute. You could just put a whole line in there. Other things you could do, I'm just gonna try to make some of these a little bit bigger, is you could stack little ink cubes as well in there. Isn't that adorable? You could put a little mono sand eraser. I'm gonna take some of these out and let's see what we could do with washi tape, because I think that that is such a good idea. You could get a few of these and use both little open areas for washi. I wasn't even thinking that when I picked it up, but now that I'm seeing the size of the tape, it's just a genius move. Okay, so I just grabbed a few more rolls of the washi tape. And just to give you an idea, let's see here, for the ink cubes, because if you wanted to use this just for ink cube storage, get these out. The ink cubes are so small, and I'll link these down below. This is my favorite ink cube company. Okay, so make sure that I got that in there. Okay, so I put these in here. Could still add another roll. You could, let's see, I think double up. Yeah, double up your ink cubes. How cute is that? I'm pretty inspired now to get a few of these for washi tape alone. I think that is awesome. Very cool. Okay, give this a thumbs up if you're finding yourself inspired. Tell me what other things that you would do with a little organizational box like this. I like that you have a lot of these as well. So it comes, at least mine did, came with a total of 4. So that's really great. But again, you can respectively remove them and have 2 longer open areas if you have things like 2 rows of washi tape that you wanted to do. I also am really, really excited about the ink cube storage opportunity there. Again, you can stack those 2 high. Okay, let's go ahead and keep crafting. Dollar Tree also had these really nice foldable storage boxes. At my Dollar Tree, they were on a little end cap, but I think they were more near the office supply section. Again, Jot is that brand that we see in office supplies and school supplies, things like that. So I was really excited about this because of the size. I love these. I have bigger versions that I got at Target that are much bigger, but I like this size because I immediately thought, let's see how this works. So this is going to fold up. See how I did that? And then you're gonna fold these down. Whoop. Hold on, let's see. Let's make sure we get those collapsed in there. Okay. Oh, hold on, there might be a little user error there. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, I just need to really snap those into place. Okay. Once they're in there, but you just gotta get a little forceful there. Let's do this side. Okay. Okay, once they're in there, they're in there. That's a very nice box, okay? You have room on the front to do some labeling. I didn't really think to do that, but now that I see that, there's a lot of room to label what's going to be organized in your bin. Now, what I thought these would be great for is I have these IKEA bins that I use to store my stamps and dies, but this is such a comparable size. So, aha, it does work. You could absolutely place your little stamp envelopes, if you organize them in this fashion, right in these bins. I can't remember how much this IKEA one was, but again, $1.25 from the Dollar Tree. You can get quite a bit in there as well. And there we go. Okay, what a wonderful way to store your stamps and dies. Isn't that awesome? So I think they came in a couple colors. I'm not quite certain. I grabbed that white one just because I like that nice kind of clean fresh look, but these look great. So again, you can label the front. I think these are a great size and definitely want to really, you know, press them into position. But all in all, a pretty nice little box. Okay, marker storage. How neat is this? In fact, I picked this up with markers in mind without even reading that that was what it's intended for. Just looking at the size, I thought that would be perfect for writing utensils and markers. So way to go, Dollar Tree. Again, it's that brand Jot. So this was more in the office supply area. Very nice. I love these little bins. They also have the little snap closures at the top to close them. So what I'm going to do really quickly is, without scratching the surface, I'm just going to lift up the little label here because I want to add a little labeling to the front. And more specifically, I'm going to label, I bought a couple of these bins. I'm going to label what markers are going inside. So once more, I want to get some rubbing alcohol, place that right on down. Okay, and the first one, let's see, I want to do, that one goes for the other one. Let's weed this one out. Same font as the last time, but I will link it down below. I wanted these to be connected together. In fact, could I just tape those back together? I sure can. Let's see if I can get this to work well. That's okay, I'll lay them separately down just because of the size of my transfer tape. I accidentally, when I was trimming things, trimmed these 2 lines apart. It'd be so much easier to lay them down together, but you know what? I think I can handle it. Okay, so being careful to keep the little dots to my eyes. Okay, there we go. I have one little middle remaining and my second line here. And once more with the little center pieces. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be for my, you know what? I think I spelled that wrong. Oh no, I didn't. I was gonna say, I thought they were mid-liner pens. They're mild liner pens. Okay, I did read that correctly. I think I've been pronouncing them wrong this whole time then. Okay, let's see if that one piece of tape will fit. I think it's just barely going to. Oops, I got the little dot to my eye off. Okay, place that right back on there. Okay, place that over. And I have a little tiny curve of that R. The little tail of the R is still sticking out, but that's okay. As long as most of it's on there, you are good to go. Okay, again, burnish that top and back side. And then you can release it from the cutting sheet. All right, let's get this centered. Now, I wanted them together so I could do this part easier, but I think I can get it close enough. So mild liner. Oops, get that little guy up there. Let's see here. And that part wasn't on the transfer tape. Okay, mild liner. Burnish that down further. And take my time peeling away the transfer. Go. Okay, and then I can just use this right on this second line as well. Okay, transfer tape's longer than necessary for this one, but that is okay because, again, I have longer little decals coming up. Okay. Being careful here not to get my scraper on any exposed vinyl that doesn't have transfer tape over it because it can snag it and crumple it in a heartbeat. So you just want to be really careful there. There we go. Okay, so there's that. Let me get the pens to go inside so you can get an idea for how much this holds and all that. Okay, so I have these awesome pens that I like. I'm just gonna place them right in here. And I have quite a few. I think I have 2 packs of the same thing. So I think I can fit all of those in. Let's see. Just about. I think I just need to even it out a little bit. Okay. There we go. Close and close. Okay. Very nice storage for pens. So you could even stack these. So I have another one that I need to do. This one, now you'll just want to be mindful of the kind of height of your pen. So these didn't fit this way, but they fit horizontally, just like so. I want to show you these pens because I've not used them on my channel yet. I actually filmed a video with them, but I didn't love the card I made, so it just never saw the light of day. But I want to come back. It was more of a, I just didn't do a great job at it, but I want to come back to these. If you haven't used these are really fun. This is a dual tip dot marker. So the one side you have more of a traditional, that's not going to help because it's a little bit lighter. Let's go with this. This is more of a fine tip on this side, but the other side kind of takes us back to kindergarten, but on a more precise little dot, you can just do dots. And these are really fun for creating dot art. Now, if you don't know how to use these, look on Instagram. So many people do fun things with dot art. It's really fun. So hopefully I get inspired with these again and we'll be able to play with these. But in the meantime, I have some nice storage for them. But I wanted to show these particular markers because if you have something a little bit, does it have the dimensions? I was gonna say if you have anything longer, then just place them horizontally because this is not a perfect square. I want to say it was like 6.5 by 6. Okay, hold on, 6 3/4 by about 6, okay? Oh, it looks like also in here, they have little bumps and grooves so that you could put each marker in there individually. I wonder if that would be more for like a thick Crayola marker. I'm not sure. But do you see how you can kind of place them so that they wouldn't move around? Okay, let me label this one. All right, so this one is just simply dot markers. And forgot to do a little cleaning here. This also removes oils from your hands. If you're like me and like to wear lotion, then that can transfer over to your projects, whether you're doing drinkware or anything like that. So it helps remove that as well because lotions can absolutely create a greasy film on your project. And then, as you can imagine, the vinyl just does not want to adhere well to that. It wants a nice clean surface. So dust and oils, best to remove. Okay, burnish that front and back just like always. Remove that. And we have our other bin. Kind of want to make sure these are pretty consistent here. Something like that. That's good. And I'll burnish that down. Okay, there we are. So what I think is great about these is that you can stack them. So you could stack these in a drawer or however you'd like to store these. This is very simple storage, but so organized. So I really like these. Again, I'm going to try to link these. I have recently been trying to link things from Dollar Tree, so I'm going to do my best to do that. So I'll try my best to link these down below for you, and hopefully you can pick some of these up as well. If I were to go back, I would pick out probably a dozen of these. I feel like this is a wonderful storage solution and I have many needs for these. Okay, bringing up my hot glue gun because I saw at Dollar Tree they have these cork bulletin boards and I thought they were so cute because of the shape of them. So what I thought would be fun is if you got a variety of these and you kind of create a little honeycomb on your craft room wall. Wouldn't that be neat if you, again, grabbed a few of these and then you just place them next to each other and kind of create a honeycomb look. So let's open this. I was inspired in a little bit of a different way on how to use this. Cannot find my scissors, so I just want to poke this just to get it opened. And the one thing I will note that I already saw, too late though, not at the store, is that mine had, let's see if I can show you. Gosh, maybe you can't see it. Oh, maybe it has a little bubble here. So you just want to be mindful. Now, it's not the end of the world because most often you are going to probably put something, you know, attach with tacks, something like a picture or paper on there. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's not the end of the world, but just note that you might want to look at them. If the camera, oh, there we go. The camera's barely picking it up, but you see this little bubble here? So you just want to be mindful of that. Okay, I also saw these little push pins from Jot as well, again, in their little office section, and I was so inspired by them. In fact, if you wanted to make some of these, you absolutely could, but look how cute these would be. Oh my gosh, I just think this is adorable. Okay, I think that's so fun. Another thing that you can do just to really dress this up is I'm gonna come back to the other side. There's my scissors, and I'm going to trim off this little kind of faux leather strap and really dress this up. So I have this really fun ribbon. I don't know where I found this. I've had it in my craft space for a while, but I thought it'd be fun to dress it up just a little bit more with a fun gingham ribbon. And there's little pom-poms on there too. So however you decorate your craft room would be how you'd want to shop and select your ribbon. But I'm just going to place that just like this. And I want mine to go in that direction. In fact, do I want that a little bit smaller? Let's see here. Probably like that. Okay. So let's do this. And I just want to make sure this is even, so I'm just monitoring how much room I have on that side, and then I'll place it on this side as well. Add some hot glue. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so just a way that you can dress that up. It doesn't need to be fancy on the back because you're never gonna see it. You're gonna just hang it right on your wall. But I thought that was super cute, very fun for a craft room idea. You could have a solo one like this and put a little ribbon on it, or again, you could get multiple and you could create a little honeycomb look on your wall. Both would be adorable. Okay, I know you're gonna think I've lost my marbles, but I was in more of the health area, health section, and they had these 7-day pill organizers. These are so cool. So I saw these and kind of went on a limb to see if this would work, and it did. So first of all, I didn't realize that it came with a container just because it was in this little box. The clear container was lost on me. But inside you have these little Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and on top of them you have the moon and the sun, so for day and night, but they have 2 little compartments here. So you're getting even more storage than I initially thought. I was thinking 7 bins, but you get essentially 14. So what I thought is that I could remove the little labels and then the little icons. So what I did is I just used what I had at home in my nail bin. I just have this nail polish remover. I'm not even sure what the, what is the strength, or is there a strength? I'm not sure, but I just used a nail polish remover. I will say it took a lot of kind of scrubbing, but I just also used a tiny little cotton swab and it came off. So I'm not saying I didn't scrub a little bit. That's why I only did one for an example here, but I got it all off. So I just went ahead, used that nail polish remover and wiped that off. And now we have a blank little canvas to use however we'd like. So what I thought would be really neat, and I'll show you what I've done in the past, is, actually let me grab those. Dollar Tree also has these little containers. They're magnetic. They also have them in a bigger size as well, but these are great for housing all of your little embellishments. So I thought these would be great for doing the same thing. I wanted to give you another option. And again, for $1.25, I think these came in a pack of 2. For $1.25, you're getting 7 bins, but because they each have 2, you're getting 14 little storage areas, which I thought was really neat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the little corner here, and I'm just going to label the top just so you can kind of get an idea of how you could get this organized. So, okay, just like that, and get all my middles out. Now, just because it has 2 little openings in each bin on each side doesn't mean you need to put different things. So you could actually fill, you know, this entire little bin right in here, and pretty comparable size. I like these because they're magnetic, so you can put them on a craft cart or something like that. I also just like the look of them. I think they're fun, but I saw these and thought we could do something very similar. All right, let's get that little weeder off, and I'll grab a little transfer. Okay, I know I just cleaned this with that nail polish remover, but just in case, since I've been handling it, I'll just rub this down just like so. And I have this long piece, but I'm going to just use a little portion of it. Now, here's the thing you can do here is you can label the side just like this. That way, if you have your little container, then you know all of the little colors on the side or which sequins is which, or you can label the top just like this, especially if, oops, transfer tape sticking, especially if you are going to use each little opening for something different. So you could do that as well. Okay, so I thought this was really neat. I also want to note before I move on, this bin. This is amazing. It has all these little compartments. I'm not sure what you would want to use this for. My first little idea was it would be great for housing little scissors. So you could put quite a few scissors in there. And if you're like me, I have a scissor for a day of the week. I have a lot of tiny little scissors like this. So you could do that, but they have these little openings in there again so that you can organize all of these little guys, but you could do something completely different. Okay, so there's an idea of how you could use these. I thought these were very awesome, very fun, and another little inspirational way that you can put all of your little embellishments in a small little compartment. And this little carrying case really has me. So fun. So again, when you go to Dollar Tree, make sure that you are really thinking outside the box. They have so many things that you can repurpose and use for your craft room. I also have another video on other things that I've used for my craft space. So again, just look at those Dollar Tree videos to get some further inspiration. I also want to note that if you don't want to take the time to remove all of these, then you can just turn this over. There's a blank side there, and then you can label these little ends and you can put them right in there like that. So if you don't want to go through the work of removing it, which it really isn't that much work, but if you don't want to, then you can do that and you have a little blank area. So super, super fun. All right, I have shown these on my channel before, but only one at a time. But I saw these again and I thought that you could pick up multiple of these. These are in their office supply section, kind of more by the school supply section, depending on how your Dollar Tree is organized. But they are little pencil holders. So what I thought is my daughter's actually in need of some storage for her craft supplies on her desk. So I thought what I could do is attach all of these, and then you have a nice, you know, big area, but you have respectively little areas as well to house different things and organize, right? Okay, so what I thought we would do is last time I think I used a different brand though. They used to have, and I couldn't find it. Again, I've moved those, so I'm not sure if my Dollar Tree doesn't have it, but they had another foam tape that you can see in some of my other Dollar Tree videos that is more in the office supply section, and it is, let me tell you, it is the stickiest foam tape I've ever encountered. I have jokingly said that you could probably repair a helicopter with it. It is so sticky, but I couldn't find it, so I'm going to test out just the other foam tape that is from the crafter area. So in the craft section, they also have this foam tape. It comes in 3 sizes, which is super nice, and I've used this before too. It's really nice for card making. If you're a card maker and you want to know more about fun card making things that you can find at Dollar Tree, then check out that video as well. That one's a super fun one. Okay, so what I want to do is, as you can see, they don't quite line up. So I think I'm going to place my foam tape more down here just so that we can really connect that part. Okay, so I'm going to use, did I get the right size here? Yes, I picked up the thickest of the foam tapes, and I'm going to grab those non-stick scissors once more, get an idea for how much I'm going to need. I'm going to do like 1 and 2. Okay. And there was another video that I did where there was other marker storage that I attached together, and I used that other foam tape that I had found. It works like a charm. Now, something you want to be mindful of here is to attach them this way so that they're both even on your surface. So that way you don't accidentally, you know, align them just off to where it wobbles. So I would, because I think it's easier to line up this. Okay, so it's just shy. Oh, it's just shy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double stack that. Easy peasy. Just make that a tiny bit thicker. Hopefully we'll have enough with this roll, but if not, we'll just use the other rolls. Okay, oops, let's put that down first. Okay. Oh yeah, this has some stick to it too. Holy moly. Okay. You just don't want to go too thick though to where it creates a gap. So let's see how this works. We're going to be okay. So it creates a little bit of one, but that should be all right. Okay, so I'm going to, in fact, if I could just attach a tiny bit to the top there, let's see if I can do that. And I can just mend the top back together. Let's see. Just like, ooh, if I can get that in there. Okay, let's get that there. And then those at the top are much closer. So perfect. Add a couple at the bottom, one at the top, and you're good to go. So let me attach, I think I'm going to do it like this. So it's kind of like a little grid. And now we'll just do, actually we'll attach these two and then we'll attach them all together. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat that process. Those are on there. Oh my goodness, they are really on there. That's going to work out great. Okay, and now what I think I'll do is I'll just do this for that last side, make it a little bit easier. Now, one thing you want to note is when you double stack these, when you place foam tape on top of foam tape, make sure that you remove the liner, because if you don't, it won't attach properly and it'll fall right apart. You want the sticky on the sticky. And I know that seems completely obvious, but sometimes it's not. So I wanted to mention it because if you really want this to work, make sure that you are attaching the foam tape right to that sticky side. Okay, so let me just go ahead and get these last pieces down. Again, just a single layer on that top part just because of how these are angled. They also have more of a mint color as well that's really pretty. And I think that's it. I think it's just the mint, pink, and lilac. Okay, there we go. And so then I'll do this again to make sure it doesn't wobble. Line it up. Press it together. Okay, and now you have a big little organizer to work with. So this is awesome. You can put scissors inside. Cute little scissors in one. You could do, you know, if this was your Cricut time or your Cricut room, you could put your weeders in there as well. Do something like this. Let's see, what else could you do? You could do pens. So I'm going to put some gel pens in there. And you can honestly put, I think this will fit. Yep. You could put your little rubbing alcohol. All right. So there is a fun idea that is really on there too. I love that. Okay, so very secure. Here's an idea of how you could create a really nice and big. And let's talk about how we could expand this. If you needed something huge, you just keep buying the little containers and you can expand upon this. So really, really neat. In fact, darn, now I'm inspired. I really do want to make this for my craft room. Again, I was making this for my daughter, but holy moly. I'm seeing how functional that is. I might want to do it for myself as well. Okay, so more in the front of my Dollar Tree in the summer area, they had these small little garbage cans, which are so nice for your craft room because they can be, they're so small that you can be a little desktop trash can. And desktop trash cans are super popular among crafters because we always have little things that we're cutting off, always have tiny little pieces that we can just put in our little trash bin instead of having it all on our countertop. So I picked this up because I have gone through a couple desktop trash cans, so I know that they're super popular to use. So as always, let's start by, I have to get my rubbing alcohol out of that organizer that I just did, but let me just clean this surface really quick because you can use it as so, or you can get really cutesy and decorate it. So I'm gonna decorate this. My daughter actually needs a new little desktop trash can for her craft space because she was telling me hers is too small, which means it is time for something new. So I told you you were gonna see these flowers reappear in this video, and this is the time. So I had these, whoops, I had these sized just a tad bigger. I think I was a little more than an inch. So I wanted these to be nice and big. Oh goodness, come on. Okay, there we go. And once more, they have the little centers. And I'll link this file down below so you know where I bought it if you are liking this look as well. So they had this, I'm not sure if I mentioned this. This is kind of more of like a, I don't know, like a bright seafoam color, but the other color they had was a really bright watermelon color. So if you like that color, if that would work for your craft space, then they did have those two options for this little wastebasket. All right, I have all of those tiny little circles. And once more, just like last time, I'm going to simply remove these as a sticker and decorate. Okay, so I'm gonna place these all around. If you notice right here, I got really close, so it looks like the tip of that little petal got a little bit trimmed off there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that little trimmed petal, which really is very slight, but I was going to nudge some up, you know, in that lip area just to make this feel really intentional and full. And I'll just go through and place these all around this little bin, get this really exciting. Okay, so finishing this on up. Now I did not get a count of my little flowers before I started, so just rewind and take a little pause and count the flowers if you want to redo this. And again, they were just a little more than an inch. How cute is that? Isn't that fun? Don't tell me that's not cute. Don't you dare tell me that is not so fun. Okay, so there is a fun little idea. Again, my daughter's gonna get this, but I think it was just fun to really dress that up. And again, they were, I feel like, more in the summertime area section because they had like summertime totes or big bucket type things. So very cute, very functional for your craft space. Another thing that's really fun at Dollar Tree are these little expandable file folders. They are in the office section. These are wonderful. I have actually hauled this once before on a craft room kind of haul from Dollar Tree. And the last time, I believe I was telling you could do scraps of cardstock or even scraps of vinyl and just have them all organized in there. And it does come with these little tabs, so these little stickers that you can put on these little half circle tabs in here. So you have that option for labeling. What I thought and what I'm in need of is stuff for, or a little organization, if you will, for my extra die cuts. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that with this. Okay, hold on, I gotta be able to start this little weeding part here. Okay, so all I did was just, again, whoops, dot to the I. I wrote out my label. In this case, it was die cuts. And this happens a lot when making cards where either you cut out a certain die or you stamp out something, and then when it comes time to actually make your card, you end up not using it. So I thought it would be nice to have a little place to organize all of these. I'm just going to wash this off once more, like always. Make sure this is nice and clean. I'm just going to label right above this little button area. Okay, so there we go. And let's do a quick little burnish. And we'll just place that just like so. I have something on my transfer tape there. Okay. Remove, and we have a label. Okay, so in a video that you haven't quite seen yet, I was making some birthday invites for my little boy, and I used the stamp set, but here are some additional die cuts, oops, that I have. So I don't want to throw these away because it takes a lot of time to stamp and, well, not a lot of time to stamp, but definitely a lot of time to apply the die and get those all cut out. So I thought this would be a great little area for some organization. Now, something to note though is that it is open at the bottom. I don't know if you can see. Do you see how, there we go, the bottom of that? So it doesn't attach fully at the bottom. So just know that, because that could pose some problems if you had things slipping underneath, but I think that would only be for super tiny things. But I could just place those in here, either label it or not. Maybe you could label even just, you know, kid cards, florals, things like that. So there's some little extra die cuts that are all nice and organized for the next time that I want to make a card. I found these really neat containers. They're like iridescent, if you will. They are called a desktop organizer, and I thought this was a really nice size. So what I was thinking that I could do is I could place these little paint bottles. These are pops by scrapbook.com, and you can fit 3 wide in these. So you have a lot of opportunity for storage there. Now I want to show you how I actually store mine, just for some additional inspiration. So I have these little silicone ice cube makers. I found these at Hobby Lobby, and they usually bring them back each year. So I found these work really, really great because they fit perfectly in there. But I wanted to give you another idea of how you can store little tiny paint bottles such as this size. So let's go ahead and weed out the little decal here. I again used the same font in order to have some consistency, and I simply typed out paint. Okay, and then just place this right up and just add the little decal right to the front. Okay, that should be good to go. How cute is that? Okay, so then again, you can just place your little paints right in there. So fun. There you go. Okay, here's a cute little idea for how you can use this little sized bin. I don't know if they had any other options for colors, whoops, but I really thought this iridescent was kind of fun. Kind of makes it just something fun for your craft room. So there you go. Now this little container was actually in more of the bathroom section, I believe. It's just called Organizer with Lid. And I thought this was really nice for a craft room because, again, the size, but also the individual openings that actually had a lot of space. So what this reminded me of is many of you, it's such a popular question on my channel, is where I got these little containers. And I have a whole drawer full of these little square containers. I found these at Michael's, and when I found them, I bought them online so I could buy them in bulk, but I still think that they do have them in store. You just have to check them out. So I thought that this is actually a really comparable way that you can get this look and this organization for a little bit less. I think these were about $1-ish. Yeah, I think it was about 99 cents per little container, whereas for $1.25 you're getting 3. So I thought that was really kind of neat. I have these little hair bands too for creating little headbands for kiddos. Okay, so there is a way that you can still have this type of organization, but from Dollar Tree. All right, let me remove this because half a Cricut must label all the things. And in my old craft room, not in this craft room, which that tour is coming next week. In my old craft room, I had my drawers labeled, and I labeled this area bits and bobs because honestly, that's exactly what it is to me. It's just bits and bobs. So I thought it'd be cute to reorganize this little bin in the same manner. Clean that off, and let's get our bits and bobs decal. Okay, bits and bobs. You could even do that. I kind of like in the middle this time. I go back and forth with different alignments, but that looks really nice. So again, this was in the bathroom section. And the next thing that we're gonna do also came from that section as well. So very easy way for you to house bigger, well, I don't know, things with bigger quantities, I would say. I think that's the best way to say that. It's not like those little sequins organizers where you just need tiny little areas, but this has some substantial surface area to it. All right, there we go. In the bathroom section, there was also these vanity storage little containers, which I thought were really nice. I like that there's a large one. This is good for, you know, pens, scissors, things like that, but we also have some shorter ones for those smaller items that we like to house. So I'm going to remove this little label. Actually, you know, no, I will. I was gonna say, I'm not gonna decorate this one. I just thought that this would be kind of better on its own, but I wanted to give you some ideas of how you could organize with this. So like I said, this bigger one is really good for scissors and all of your kind of longer things. And then you have these smaller areas, which are super helpful for things like erasers. So we have this little rubber eraser, a mono sand eraser. You could do glue bottles in here. So another great item that you can definitely have fun with in organization from Dollar Tree. So check out the little bathroom area section. They have organizers for organizing your beauty supplies, but that can easily translate over to your craft room as well. Dollar Tree also has these little storage containers, which are great for school supplies, which is why they're in that little teaching tree section, even though mine wasn't. Mine was just in a little area in the front of our store, but they had a couple colors at my Dollar Tree, more of a mint and then more of a pink. And I thought these would be great for storing some craft supplies as well. So back during the pandemic, when I was homeschooling my kiddos, I used these for their supplies and they were great. Actually, mine were from Michael's, however, but it was the exact same concept. Sometimes I think all of these companies just borrow each other's ideas and create the exact same things. And so this is pretty much a identical version of one that you can find at a craft store. Okay, so labeling this paintbrushes, and then I'll show you how you can get your paintbrushes organized all nice in these little bins. And don't think that I didn't like that little weeding hook thing for the nail polish. I just am 3 or 4 years in the habit of doing it this way. So in order to use that, I just need to actually build a habit. But I didn't want you to think that just because I haven't been using it, I didn't think it was a nifty little tool. Okay, so we have paintbrushes. Do a quick burnish as always. You know the drill. And there we go. All right, let's put this right on the top. Just like that. And easy peasy. What's great about these as well as the marker storage that we, that we showed earlier was they're stackable. So this is a great option for having further organization with the stacking. So here is the other one. I just got this for an example of more colors that you can get, but they stack so well. So really good. You could, now that I'm looking at these, label the sides so that when you do have them stacked, it would be more appropriate to have the label on the side so you know, and you're not having to unstack them in order to know what's in them. But respectively, they're also clear, so you probably get a general idea of what you're looking for. All right, and then I have my little paintbrushes that I can place right inside. I have a couple of little options tonight for paintbrush storage from Dollar Tree, so that was pretty fun. All right. We did so much tonight that I'm not going to bring the final tour of all of the crafts that we did at the end of this video because it would just take me forever to get everything all organized again. But I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know if you found anything at your Dollar Tree recently that could help organize a craft space. And again, I will put some of those really popular Dollar Tree videos down in the description box below. Again, you're going to also find all of the supplies that I use down there as well. So be sure to check that out below the video. If you enjoyed this, please give this a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next video.